Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to do a fight breakdown for Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now. Subscribe to the channel. Do it right now. It takes one click. Also, if you could, hit the thumbs up button. It shows love and it does support this channel. And lastly, please share this video. Circulate it. Take it to the gym with you. Debate with your friends. But circulate the videos. It does help and it also supports the channel. Now, we're going to start this thing off with a resume. Who has the better resume? Now, on paper, everything would clearly just go towards Canelo. He has more fights and he has more big names. He has more, on paper, dangerous people. But when you break this down, I'll give you an example. Well, I'm going to give you a few, actually. You have Charlo. He beats Charlo. The problem with that is Charlo was a smaller guy who moved up. He beats Billy Joe Saunders. The problem with that was Billy Joe Saunders has never been an overly active guy. But on top of that, he doesn't have any punching power. So Billy Joe Saunders just kind of fought out of character and trying to stand his ground with Canelo, which was suicide for him. Then we have Triple G. I personally believe that Triple G won the first fight. But Triple G was also on the tail end of his career. It wasn't like it was in his prime. He has names like Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher has never taken his health serious. He drinks during training camp. He didn't look good. He looked old. He looked slow. So, yeah, all right. He has more bigger names and he has more names and he has a lot more people on his resume. While you look at Terence Crawford, Canelo himself is like, well, who have you fought? I don't know why they're not mentioning Earl Spence, because when he fought Earl Spence was the boogeyman. When he fought Earl Spence was on the top of his game. And do not mention that car crash. Because when he came back from the car crash, he was still kicking butt and taking names. So I don't want to hear anything about the car crash. I don't think that affected him the way people thought it affected him. I care. Resume is a tie because he fought Earl Spence in his prime. He fought Earl Spence when nobody wanted to fight him. He fought Earl Spence when nobody believed. I said he was going to win, and I was right. But nobody believed he was going to win, and especially the way he did it. Yeah, it's impressive that Canelo knocks out Bone Crusher, but it's an old, slow Bone Crusher who literally didn't do anything in training camp but drink. So I can't give you that credit. Yeah, he beat Charlo. But honestly, it just kind of looked like Charlo was there to, I don't know, get a check. I got to be honest with you, it looks like he was there to get a check because after he lost, it wasn't like, I'm going back to training camp. It's like, no, I'm going to take an extended vacation with a whole lot of money. So there you have it. Billy Joe Saunders, the same thing. He gets the biggest payday of his life, and he leaves, balloons up to like 300 pounds, and he keeps talking about coming back. The only person who fought Canelo in recent years was Caleb Plant, who's come back and is still, well, actually, he didn't come back because he just got the crap beat out of him, but still, he pressed forward after the loss. So I'm going to say it's a tie because Terence Crawford fought Earl Spence in his prime, and it was truly a 50-50 fight. It was truly a pick'em fight. It was truly a fight you didn't know. Except for me, if you look at that fight breakdown, I spoke all of that into existence. But I'm going to say resume is a tie. Power, clearly Canelo Alvarez. One punch power, clearly Canelo Alvarez. I think Terence Crawford has some pop, but, you know, in his last fight, you know, styles make fights, but he didn't look that great. And he certainly wasn't, you know, and he tagged his man a few times, but he couldn't get him out of there. So when you look at Canelo Alvarez, who's been fighting bigger guys for much longer, I'm definitely going to say one punch knockout power goes to Canelo. Boxing IQ. So here's the thing about Canelo. He kind of always looks the same. And on the outside, it's like, oh, I know what I would do with that. I know what I would do about that. I know what I would do about that. And then people get in there. And me personally, I've been saying this for about 3 years solid. Actually, about 2 years. But I've been saying this. I don't necessarily think that Canelo Alvarez is such a master, skillful technician in the ring. I just think he's such a larger-than-life persona of boxing that people kind of get mesmerized when they're actually in the ring with him. And it's like, I can't believe I'm actually fighting Canelo Alvarez. He's right over there. He's coming over here to take my head off. I can't believe it. And it's just like, yeah, but you gotta tune all that out. You gotta tune all that out. You know, Berlanga even said that. He was like, I couldn't believe I was fighting Canelo. And I'm like, yeah, but you gotta fight it back. You gotta tune all. It's okay to do that after the fight. Don't do it don't do it before the fight. Don't do it clearly during the fight, but do it after the fight. And I think a lot of people, they look at him like, wow, it's Canelo. I'm going to fight out of character tonight because it makes more sense. No, it doesn't. Caleb Plant fought out of character. Billy Joe Saunders fought out of character. Charlo fought out of character. We know from the Castano fight, Charlo doesn't like fighting off the ropes. Why are you doing it with Canelo? Somebody's bigger, stronger, and hits harder. That makes 0 sense. 0 cents. Where was the jab at from Charlo? Makes 0 sense. People fight out of character. And I think it's because they get mesmerized. I think it's because of the amount of M's that they're gonna be getting. It's gonna be debited to their account. That's what I think. When I look at Bud, he doesn't strike me as that type of guy where it's just like it's all about the money, it's all about the Benjamin. And he also doesn't strike me as the type of guy who respect and worship are two different things. I respect Canelo. I respect what he's done. I respect how he's collected all these belts, but I don't worship the guy. He's beatable. He's very much human, and I have all the skills and attributes needed to actually do the job on the night of, if I believe in myself. And what makes Bud different is I think it's because his whole career has been like that. His whole career has been nobody thinks you can do it. His whole career has been nobody thinks you can do it. Nobody believes you're going to do it. Nobody believes you're going to be the one to knock him out. Nobody believes you're going to beat Earl Spence. Nobody believes you're going to beat Kell Brook. Nobody believes any of this stuff when it comes to you. And it's like he's constantly always had to prove himself. So I don't think mentally him being in the ring with Canelo is going to mesmerize him. I don't think it's going to, he's going to get caught up in starstruck. I don't think that's going to happen to him. I don't think it's going to happen at all. And if it would have happened, I think it would have started, or at least by now. But I don't believe it's going to happen at all. I don't think he cares that much about his opponents to where he's worshiping them. And I feel like a lot of those guys get mesmerized and caught up in the moments of the glare and the big lights and the biggest stage they've ever been in, not to mention the biggest purse they're ever going to receive. And I don't see Bud going through that. When I look at Bud and I'm looking at this skill setting, he's got more skills. I'm sorry. He's got more skills. He's got more in his arsenal with punch selection. He's got more skills. He's got way better legs. He knows how to wrestle. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a factor. Like I said, it was going to be a factor in the Earl Spence fight. Nobody believed me. I'm telling you, that wrestling is going to be a factor. Yeah, he's a switch hitter. That's cool. And, because I don't want to say the obvious to people, but I'm telling you, it's the wrestling. I'm telling you, it's the way that he can shoot his underhooks under somebody. He can maneuver them around, and then he can be back in the center of the ring, and he'll leave you on the ropes. I'm telling you, that's going to be a factor. And I'm telling you, he knows how to strategize. He's not the type of guy who says, well, I only have plan A. No, he's going to have plan A, B, C, and D. That's what's going to be the difference. His mind, his ability to say, that hurt, but I'm going to keep going. I lost that round, but I'm going to keep going. I don't think he's as good as they say he is. And I'm going to believe that I'm better. That's going to be huge. Boxing IQ, I'm definitely giving to Bud Crawford. Canelo, because I don't really know how fast Bud is at this speed. He's a smaller guy, so naturally it would make more sense that he would be the faster guy. However, he hasn't fought at this weight. He's only sparred at this weight. And that's it. He's only sparred at this weight. Canelo Alvarez is typically the smaller guy at the weight, and he's typically the faster guy at the weight. But Bud is only sparred at the weight. So because of that, I'm going to say the speed factor is going to be a tie. I think that's fair. Now, if we want to throw in the whole body in terms of body mechanics, your hands and your feet, well then fine. I'm definitely going to go with Bud. I think he has faster feet. I think he has a faster twitch. I do think Canelo is slicker up top, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's faster. So, but I'm just to be fair, I'm going to say it's a tie because I haven't really, I haven't seen Bud fight at this weight. Nobody has, so I really don't know. So right now, I think the safest thing to say is it's going to be a tie. Defense. Who is better defense? Canelo is slick, like I just said. He's very slick, but he gets hit. Canelo relies on his toughness a lot. He's a tough Mexican. He has a big, thick neck. He's never been down. He's only been wobbled once, and that was early in his career when he was, like 22 or something like that. And he hasn't been wobbled since. He's been hit hard. Triple G hit him with a clean flush shot. And you know what Canelo did? Shook his head. That ain't going to work tonight. So, defense. All right. Then you look at Bud Crawford. That switch hitting. Now it's a factor. That's a defense. It is. Footwork. It's a factor. That's a defense. The wrestling. That's a defense. They're switching his man around. I'm telling you, the underhooks, the underhooks, the underhooks. Remember that. It's a defense. But also his mind is a defense. He's great at deflecting shots. When you look at the Errol Spence fight, you know, he was shelled up and he would just parry and deflect a lot of Earl's shots. I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge lot of punches. But Bud is not the type of guy you want to allow. You want to give him time to think. And Canelo, the way he fights, he will give you time to think. That's going to be a problem. When it comes to defense, I'm going to give it to Terence Crawford. Mental toughness. Well, let's see. I typically give it to the undefeated guy, and I think that makes sense. I'm going to give it to the undefeated guy right now because Lara beat Canelo. Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo. GGG beat Canelo. He's got losses. He's got losses. And he knows he has losses. He didn't say, let's run that back. And for that, there's a little bit of a mental weakness right there. Because you didn't ask to run it back with Lara. Lara knew he won that fight. You can look at Lara's body language. Look at Canelo's body language. The first thing that Oscar De La Hoya does in the press conference, there will not be a rematch. That's the first thing he runs up to the mic and says. He knows he lost that fight. Run that back. You keep asking for the Floyd Mayweather fight again. No, we need to run that back. Why? Floyd is older. He's retired. And he flushed you out completely. You should run the Lara fight back. You should have run the Lara fight back. I'm sorry. GGG beat him the first time. He was robbed. And he should be fighting David Benavidez, and he's not. So when it comes to mental toughness, I cannot give that to Canelo Alvarez. I can't. I can give it to Terence Bud Crawford because he has called out the big names. It's not his fault they didn't want to fight him. It's not his fault at one point in time, you're on this side of the street and we're on this side of the street. That was the argument. He took on the toughest guy, Errol Spence. Got to give mental toughness to Terence Bud Crawford. Durability. Canelo Alvarez all day. I just said he was a rough, tough Mexican. What are you talking about? Durable Mexican. Only been rocked once in his career. I think he was 21 or 22. Once in his career. If GGG can't rock him, Terence Crawford ain't going to rock him. But you know what Terence Crawford said? I don't have to knock him out and beat him. I just have to be fully aware, fully alert, every moment of every round for 12 rounds, 36 minutes. And that's true. Floyd Mayweather did it. It's possible. Lara did it. It's possible. He's right. He's right. I'm sorry. He's right. So, yeah. Durability, yeah. Absolutely. Let's give it to Canelo Alvarez. Let's see. Range. Who's a better range? Crawford can fight in the inside. We all know Canelo can fight in the inside. Crawford can fight in the outside. Canelo has gotten better at fighting on the outside, but he's best in the inside, which is why he chooses to stalk you and walk you down, and he's going to let you shoot your shots before he shoots his. But Crawford, anywhere in that ring, I feel like he's comfortable. Crawford is very underrated with his strength, and I've been saying this since the Sean Porter fight. He's very underrated with his strength. Sean Porter's everybody. You know who he didn't Sean Porter? Terence Bud Crawford. He didn't Sean Porter him. He didn't rough him up and throw him all over the ring. He didn't do to Terence Crawford what he did to Errol Spence. He didn't do that. He couldn't do that. And I don't want to hear he was going to retire. It doesn't matter. That's still his character. That's still how he fights. He didn't do it. Because he didn't even have an opportunity to do it. That's why he didn't do it. Let's see. Cardio. Both guys can go the different distance, but like I said earlier, Canelo doesn't throw a lot of punches. Crawford's a combination puncher. Canelo doesn't throw a lot of punches. This is kind of hard to say just simply because we have not seen Crawford at this weight. Yeah, you've been sparring people, but you haven't actually had a real fight at this weight. So it's going to be interesting. I would still give cardio to Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is notorious for taking rounds off, notorious for lining up on that rope. You know, now, granted, he may not do it because it's like, no, you're a much smaller guy. There's no reason why I should be laying up on this rope. I should be going for broke every round. But you never know. He's done it in the past, so you never know. Let's see. Creativity. Terence Bud Crawford. He's a lot more creative than Canelo Alvarez. We know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. We know he's going to close that distance. We know he's going to go to the body. Terence Crawford typically looks different every fight, every time he fights somebody. So we don't necessarily know what he's going to do. We know what he has in the arsenal, but we don't know what pitch he's going to throw at us. So we don't know that. That's what I can tell you. Because he focuses on your strengths. That's what he does. He focuses on your strengths. And I got to go with Terence Crawford. Again, I got to go with Terence Crawford when it comes to creativity. Dog. Who's got more dog? Here's the thing. Canelo's like, whoa, these guys keep running from me and I can't knock them out because they're running from me. Well, if they're running from you, that means that they're scared of you. If they're scared of you, you should take more risk in the ring. So, all right. If they're running from you, run after them because they're scared of you, right? So you should be able to take more risk. You've never been knocked out. You've only been rocked once. And you're winning the fight. Go for broke. Get this guy out of here. That's a problem for me. When I look at dog, Bud's got dog. He's got dog because he walks around with a chip on his shoulder. So he walks around with dog. And everything to Bud is competitive. If you say, hey, Bud, he does have a mean streak. Canelo has a mean streak as well. But Terence's mean streak, I think, has existed in his mental longer. And I think when you know everybody's against you, when you know nobody believes in you, it kind of ticks you off. And it's just like, what would give you the impression I can't do it if I've been doing it my whole career? So, dog, who's more vicious? As of lately, I would say Terence Crawford. Mentality-wise, he's a more vicious guy than Canelo Alvarez is, or has been in the last, maybe 3 years, 4 years possibly. He's more vicious. He wants to hurt his opponent. Canelo wants to win at this stage in his career. Bud wants to hurt you and leave no shadow of any doubt. Danger. Who's more dangerous? Is it Canelo Alvarez or is it Terence Bud Crawford? Very seldom do I say this and very seldom do I do this, but I think it's a tie. When you look at the punching power and the experience in how many fights Canelo Alvarez has had, not to mention he had the Skull fight, the William Skull fight. It was an exciting fight? No, but he's more busy. He's a very active champion. And that means that your reflexes are going to be there for you. And he hits harder. And he's very durable. Then you look at Terence Crawford. We're talking about somebody who, I'm telling you, the wrestling is going to be a factor. The strength is going to be a factor. Bud does have some pop, but again, at the higher weight, I don't think it's going to be a significant enough pop. But I think what makes Bud different is I don't think he's ever had really hard punches. I just think Bud is great at timing. And I think he understands timing, distance, and precision really, really, really well. So when it comes to danger, I'm going to give this a tie. Because I think they're both dangerous in different ways. Like extremely different ways. Really go for broke round one if you wanted to. While you look at Bud, I do think he's stronger than people give him credit for, and I don't know why, but proof is in the pudding. But he's stronger than what people give him credit for. Great IQ, and that switch hitting will come into play. It will come into play. I just don't want to sit here and talk about that the whole time like everybody else does, but it will come into play. And his ability to say, all right, plan A and B are not working. It's time to go to plan C. Canelo is not a plan C type of guy. Terence Bud Crawford is a plan C type of guy.